Hi, beautiful people. Today I share with you one of the best jollof rice you will ever make. My name is Yanoki, and for this recipe, we have this fresh beef that I got from my butcher, and then we are going to have chicken as well. Yeah, adding chicken to it, so it's going to be a beef and chicken jollof rice. For my spices, I have coriander, turmeric and ginger powder, onion and garlic powder, mixed local spice, smoked paprika. I have the recipes of all these spices on my channel, so do check them out. I also have some salt and seasoning cube. Guys, if you allow me, I'll just go and fetch some seawater and make my own salt as well. That's just by the way. So I'm adding a little water to this because I want the stock from this to prepare my jollof. Now, this is the game changer. I have some bell peppers, red bell peppers, some onions, some shallots. Yes, a shallot in Ghana looks like this small, and then some scotch bonnet pepper and garlic. To this, I'm going to add some salt. I'm sprinkling some salt and black pepper, and then some coconut oil. I'll be using coconut oil throughout this recipe. I'll give this a nice toss, and then I'm going to put this in my oven. I want it to be a bit smoky. So I come back, I check on my chicken and my beef, and it's looking so good. I'm just giving it a good stir so that I have all the spices everywhere. Yeah, so stir, cover, and let it steam nicely. Once that is done, I'm going to heat my coconut oil, and I am going to fry my chicken and my beef. You know, usually when I'm making jollof rice, I go in for boneless beef, but I just noticed that the soft beef, you know, the soft bones being attached to the beef really makes it nice, something to suck on the bones while you are eating or you're chewing your meat. So if you don't want a bone, if you want a boneless one, just go for that. But this is soft bone in beef. Okay, so I fried this nicely, nice and done. I'm just taking it out, and then I will let this oil cool down because I'll be using the oil to blend my veggies. I checked on my veggies, it's almost there, not to where I want it, so I'm just giving it a quick stir, and then yeah, after about 15 to 20 minutes, this is what we have. Exactly how I wanted. Some of the liquid in these veggies had evaporated nicely, and I'm using the oil. The oil had also cooled down completely. Adding some fresh ginger, blended it, and then went into my saucepan directly, and within minutes, like just a minute or two, you have the oil already forming, you know, on top of the sauce. And for today's recipe, I'll be using this passata sauce. Tomato is out of season. Then I remembered that I had this massive shout outs to Samira of Basilia Food. I'll leave the link to her channel. Please do check her out. Alternatively, you can also check on this homemade tomato sauce of mine. Because tomato is out of season, I have just 2 containers of this left, and I'm managing it, you know. So Samira shared a recipe on her channel using passata, and I was asking her whether it was tomato sauce, you know, and then she just shipped some all the way from the UK through her sister Kensma. Shout out. I got to know about her channel through her sister Kensma, and I really do appreciate this kind gesture. Basilia Foods, I hope I'm getting it right, but I'll leave the link to her channel. Please go support her for me. Thank you so much. So I'll cover this and let it cook, and once you see this oil forming on top of our stew, we know that we are good to go. We are almost there. I actually thought I'll be using 2 packs packs of the passata, but one is just going a long way to make this awesome. So to that I'm adding my curry powder and some seasoning cube. Guys, I had a whole pack of bay leaves. I've just been looking everywhere, I can't find it. But if you are a bay leaf lover, do add it to your stew at this point. At this point, I had washed my rice thoroughly multiple times until the water was clear. You want the water to be clear just to ensure that you get rid of most of the starch from this rice. Added it to my stew. I'm giving this a nice stir, making sure I'm stirring this nicely. And next thing I do, I add my stock from the chicken and beef, and this combination, my beautiful people, it's just amazing. Flavors upon flavors and beautiful flavors. Then I also wash my blender with water, the blender that I used in blending the smoked vegetables. If it had been raw veggies and you're adding it at this point, it changes the taste in a way, but because this is smoked, it just works perfectly with it. Because I added salt to the stock and the veggies, you want this to be the last thing to do. I'm adding some salt now after tasting it, and you want your rice to look this way, more like a suspension. You don't want the water separated from the rice. If your rice is looking this way, you're on your way to having a perfect jollof rice, people. So I covered it with a parchment paper. Alternatively, you can use aluminum foil for this and it will work perfectly. Now, I was supposed to cook this under medium heat, but I forgot it was on high heat, so I quickly opened it after 5 minutes to give this a stir, before it continues. If it had been under medium heat, it would have probably been on fire for a while before stirring. So I'm just stirring, just making sure that it does not burn. So after this first stir, I'm just going to cover it and let it cook under very, very low heat. I'm using the lowest heat. I want to take my time so that this does not burn. And then every now and then, you just have to come in and stir your rice. If you taste your rice at this point, you may realize that the grain is a bit hard, but don't worry, don't be tempted to add water. It's still very sticky, so the steam will do the job for you. Just cover it with the parchment paper and then let it cook. If you're enjoying the video up to this point, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and please subscribe to my channel if you haven't. I'll be very happy to have you on board. Thank you so much for considering to subscribe, and thank you to everyone that has been supportive. I really do appreciate you. So I give this a nice stir again. I think I need another word to replace a nice stir. And our jollof is done. It is cooked. People, this is delicious. Please try this. The combination of both flavors in this jollof and the smoky veggies. I love you.